What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be going over some of my favorite simple and easy retakes in Fortnite, specifically retakes that are effective but can also be used by players of all skill levels. If you want to enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content just like this in the future, and without further ado, let's get into it. And one last thing I want to mention before we do get into the retakes, guys, is that these retakes are going to take some practice. Like, I know it technically is beginner retakes, and these are retakes that are geared toward beginners, but if you are a pure beginner, like completely new to retakes, it is going to take some time to learn no matter what. Like, there's pretty much no retake you can do except like maybe like a no floor 90 or something like that you can just do straight off the bat if you're a complete beginner, and even that for a lot of beginners is still pretty difficult as well. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if it takes a little bit of practice, don't give up on it. It will probably take a little bit of practice for most of these, but with that said, let's get into the first retake. Alrighty, guys, so with that said, this first retake is going to be a pretty simple one. So you're going to start off with, you know, any sort of scissor ramp or ramp, whatever you want to do. From here above you, you're going to place a floor and a cone just like this, and you're basically going to edit one of the sides of both of these. So you can either edit the left just like that or the right just like this. I prefer the right, but that's just my own preference. And from here, guys, basically what you're going to do is you're going to place a cone up here, you're going to turn around, place a wall and ramp to catch yourself. So in full speed, guys, it's going to look something like this. Boom, 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 catch yourself, and you're good. Sometimes it will place like a cone up here or maybe even a ramp, but that's not a big deal. It doesn't really have an issue like with the retake itself. And finally, guys, from here you can do any sort of like side jump. So personally, I like to do an elevated side jump just like this where I land on top of the ramp, but you do also have the option to like catch yourself under a ramp just like that, so you kind of go into a tunnel which is protected, and then from there you can do any sort of 90, any sort of 180. My internet just went out, but you kind of get the gist. So basically, guys, as I said, you can do either the elevated side jump that I did or go under here and catch yourself like that. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the retake in full speed. And also here's the variation with the little protected side jump. Alright, guys, so with that said, moving on to our second retake. This retake's kind of going to involve a lot of side jumps, and it's going to be like a bit of a misdirection type of thing. So what you're going to want to do to start is you're going to be in like a, you know, scissor ramp or ramp, whatever you want to do for that. And from there, you're basically going to wrap walls around just like this. So you're going to have 4 walls, and then you're going to place a ramp above you and a cone. I know it kind of looks like a lot, but really in full speed, once you get used to it, it's super easy just like that. And from there, guys, what you're going to do is you're going to jump out to this side and catch yourself with a cone, wall, and ramp just like that. So far, the motion is just like this. And finally, guys, from here you can do any form of side jump and like build up kind of like we did last time. So you can do the elevated side jump, the covered side jump, whatever you want to do. Personally, I do the elevated, then you can do 90s, or after the side jump you can also do like a 180 just like that if you want to. But yeah, guys, it's really up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this retake in full speed. But when it comes to practicing this retake, one thing that I want to mention is that you should really try to like implement each of these like one by one to practice them. So what I would do first is kind of get used to this motion just like this. Then once you get that down, I would go ahead and set this up just like this, and then basically practice jumping out to the side like this. And then finally you can kind of string them all together just like this and focus on this last side jump. But yeah, guys, that side jump at the end, I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty difficult to get down for most players. And by the way, you can also mirror this just like that. But yeah, guys, just try to be patient with it. It will take some time to get used to this, especially kind of like going in the transition from this to the side jump. It is a bit awkward in terms of movement, but it is so worth learning. This retake is absolutely awesome and kind of confuses your opponent. So with that said, guys, that's going to be it for retake number 2. But moving on to number 3, this is going to be a really simple retake for you guys. It is slightly mechanical in a way, but really it's going to be super easy and probably the easiest one in this video. So with that said, to do this retake, it's really simple, pretty much just 2 steps. To start, what you're going to want to do is you're going to throw up a thwifo cone just like this. So if you don't know what the thwifo cone is, basically it's just where you wrap walls behind you just like that. So you kind of have 4 walls like this and a cone above. It looks just like this. Putting it up, you look behind you, kind of wrap around and place the cone above. But with that said, once you get that thwifo cone down, the next thing that you're going to do is basically just jump up onto a ramp. And from there, it is so simple. Basically, you can edit either 1 tile or 2 tiles, and you can go out and basically just do anything you want to finish up the retake. So with that said, you do your thwifo cone, you kind of catch yourself, and then I guess you can technically do a side jump as well if you want to, but just preferably for beginners and people who just don't want to do the most advanced retake in the world. Basically, I just recommend that you kind of go for the simpler approach of just editing through and kind of doing your 90s and stuff after that. So with that said, I'm going to show you this retake in full speed. And once again, as I said, you do have the option to implement the other side jumps from the other retakes, but as you can see, after you do that Thwifo cone, especially if you manage to do it in full speed, it's really hard to kind of wrap yourself back around to get a full side jump in. As you can see, I just messed it up. So I would recommend that you guys just go the simple approach, edit through, and then do whatever retake you want after that. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for retake number 3. Alrighty, guys, so moving on to retake number 4 for this video, and this one's actually going to be a real treat. So this retake is actually one that I showed almost 2 years ago on my channel, probably when I had less than 5,000 subscribers.
Alright guys, so our third retake, I call this one the Misdirection retake. So basically it's going to be modified Thwifo cones. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a scissor ramp, and we're going to throw up some Thwifo cones like normal. But instead of doing just straight up Thwifo cones, what we're going to do is we're going to edit out of some of them. So it'll look something like this.
And this one never really got out there that much. I don't see a lot of people using it, but it genuinely is still a really useful retake and can confuse your opponent a ton. And at this point in time, I guess I'd consider it more of a beginner retake. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this one down in the comments, but I wanted to show you guys this one because I find it really interesting and feel like it kind of is underrated. So with that said, this is called the Misdirection retake, and it's basically a variation of the Thwifo cone where you're basically constantly editing out and going into another box. So basically it's meant to confuse your opponent and kind of cover you as you go up. So it's going to look something like this. So as I said, you're going to throw up a Thwifo cone just like that, and then basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to the wall that's on your side right here. You're going to edit through that, build a ramp, do another Thwifo cone, edit through that, do the same thing, except like do an actual Thwifo cone and don't mess up like I did, and basically just keep going up. So in full speed, it's going to look something like this. Boom, 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 boom. Now obviously there are a few small flaws with this technique, so obviously you can kind of be seen from the outside, but if you track your opponent properly and you box up at the right time, if they do decide to push down to you, then that's fine. And once you've done the retake a good bit, guys, you do have a few options for going up. One, you can just continue up on one of these Thwifo cones instead of editing through. So basically you can just continue doing the pattern like normal, you know, whatever. Basically you just continue doing it like you normally would. Obviously this is in slow motion, and then on one of these Thwifo cones you kind of just go up and do some 90s instead of doing another Thwifo cone. That can work. Or you can also go for the retake that we talked about earlier. So you'd basically do the Thwifo cone, and then going up on one of these Thwifo cones, you'd go ahead and catch yourself and then do either the edit out just like this or the side jump. I don't remember which exact retake it was, but I remember that retake is definitely in this video. So yeah, that's something you can also kind of string on the end. But either way, I hope this retake helps you guys out. This is something that I really wanted to show you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys in full speed. With all that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If this video helped you out, be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more videos just like this in the future. Finally, if you'd like to help your boy out a bit extra, it would really mean a lot if you could use code Teckoh in the item shop, as it's completely free and it really helps out a bunch. With that said, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.